serious, what secret could ruin your life? I get paid a six-figure salary for a standard 40-hour-a-week corporate job for a massive well-known company. In a given week I do maybe an hour of actual work, the rest of the time I'm on Reddit or YouTube slacking off. I thought when I got this job that eventually someone would figure out I don't do anything all day, but here I'm 14 years later still doing all and getting paid a lot for it. Some guy convinced naive 15-year-old me to send nudes and then used it against me for 6 months. He found me on Facebook and threatened to send them to my friends list if I didn't do whatever he asked me to. He would make me get online whenever he asked and have me masturbate for him. He even tried to get me to meet up with him in person. I got really lucky when his profiles just disappeared one day and I took that opportunity to delete every social media account I had. I haven't gone back since, and I never will. It really yucked me up for a while, but I don't really have anyone to blame but myself. It's been 6 years since, and I still haven't told anyone I know this story. Edit. For those of you asking why I didn't go to the police, I'm a South Asian female with a very conservative family. I didn't see telling my family about what happened as an option at the time, and I still don't. I just wanted this whole situation to go away as soon as possible. My whole professional life is built on a lie and it's about ready to come down. When I was 22 I was in a bad way, halfway through my bachelor's degree, but with a building addiction to opiates and some mental health issues. Summer of that year I was in a bad car accident. In addition to broken bones throughout my body, my head went through the window and my face received severe lacerations that required hundreds of stitches to close and left me looking very rough. As tough as that was to deal with, I also now know that I sustained a traumatic brain injury that left me very confused, angry, and overwhelmed by life in general. I wanted to keep up appearances, so after taking 3 months off to recover I tried to go back to school. Within the first week I knew I couldn't handle it. Too many questions about what happened, too much anxiety, and I had lost pretty much all my coping skills. When I got overwhelmed, which happened often, I would feel sick and scared and literally forget where I was and what I was doing. It was frightening and embarrassing, especially for someone like me who had always had high expectations placed on my shoulders by those around me. I had lost pretty much all my friends at this point, and in my mental state, I thought that those who remained would abandon me if they knew how much I was struggling. So, I told everyone that it was going great. Every day I leave the house for 6 hours and drive. Sometimes I would stop in a parking lot. Sometimes I would just keep driving all day. I would find cheap used textbooks at college bookstores so that I could bring them home and study. I created elaborate lies about my classes and my professors in order to have stories to tell. When people asked how it was going, I kept telling myself that I was just doing this until my brain worked again, and that next quarter I would go back for real when I could actually handle it. Problem is, things just kept getting worse, and as time went on I became less able to get back on track. This went on for 2.5 years, until I was supposed to be graduating. So, I lied about that too. I forged transcripts and came up with stories of why I didn't want to work in the field of my degree and hoped to move past it. I got a labor job and slowly found things working themselves out as my brain chemistry improved, and steady work kept me from completely destroying myself. Eventually I had to move. For the first time in over a decade, I was finally free of my opiate addiction and starting to feel part of the world again, but I was still carrying the lie of my college degree. I volunteered in some places related to that field and they really liked me. They liked me so much, in fact, that they hired me on an emergency basis, no transcripts required, and I've worked there ever since. Now, 3 years into my sobriety and seemingly a lifetime removed from the pain of those years, they want to promote me to a career level job that I would absolutely love. I'm so good at what I do, and it brings me so much joy, but this promotion would come with scrutiny and background checks that I know I can't stand up to. When I was so depressed, I honestly didn't think I'd even live this long. So while I knew that my lies could create this situation, I never prepared for it. Worse than losing this job would be having everyone around me find out what happened. So I'm at a point now where I have to quit what I love because they like me too much. I plan to go back to school for real, and I think I'll do well, but the shame and regret of this situation is something I don't think I'll ever shake. A while back, I was cheating on my wife with a coworker. It went on for months, and I never really cared for the woman I was cheating with. She was super hot, though. After a while my coworker started getting really crazy and threatening to tell my wife, whom I had a child with and a baby on the way, about everything. Obviously, I kept trying to cut things off because I realized I was making a mistake. She lost it one night and was freaking out and texting me telling me she was going to come to my house and a drunk driver hit her. She died instantly. No one knows I was having an affair and my family went to her funeral. Edit. Oh man. Sorry Reddit for answering the question honestly. Next time I'll remember to keep this to myself. Also thanks for the gold. Edit. Shout out to all the people who think I should have died instead and are encouraging me to go ahead and tell the one secret that would ruin my life. Possibly the most relatable. I don't care about the company or my work beyond a professional level. I do my work well because I'm paid, but I'm not working extra for free. I don't buy into the mission at all, and the only reason I don't want the place to go belly up is so I don't lose my job. If corporate heard this, it could ruin your life because a lot have bought into / force feed the delusion that work equals life. Hell, I know people who have been clearly shoved out of companies because of this. Tech is real bad about it. This isn't to say that I don't work hard for my time, but I get paid for 40 hours. I work hard for 40. You expect 60? Pay me and I'll do it, but I don't care about the company or changing the world, so I won't do it for free. Edit. Holy at this blew up. When I say this is a secret I mean that if my coworkers and I said this to anyone in management, we'd be reamed, possibly fired and could have our career ruined in the industry for not being motivated. I realize many people feel this way too. I'd say it's normal, but I called it a secret because we can't say it out loud to most people. Second, I'm not against working more than 40 hours, but I'm against working without compensation. Right before rollout of a product, I can understand working 60 hours for 2 weeks out of the year to ensure it arrives on time, assuming that is baked into the compensation in some manner. But then when 60 hours a week becomes the norm for all 52 weeks, but pay doesn't rise, then I have a problem. Similarly, I understand people who put in 80-hour weeks at a startup to get it running, and as part owners get multi-million-dollar returns. But don't expect me to do the same when you're paying me $75k a year. Got super drunk once, and my gay friend stayed over. We went to bed, and as we're chatting his hands started moving, and I didn't stop him. He ended up sucking my dick, and I won't lie it was good. Thing is, as hard as it is to believe, I'm very straight. Also our families are really close. This is gonna get buried, but I'm depressed and suicidal. Last summer I tried to kill myself. I put a gun in my mouth. The only thing that stopped me was my cat happened to walk into the closet where I was. If anyone in real life saw this, they would treat me like I'm a landmine about to explode. Edit. After the overwhelming amount of support, I've decided to talk with my best friend about this. Thank you to everyone who commented and to everyone who messaged me. You have no idea how much it means to me to see a bunch of people care so much. Edit 2. Thank you for the gold. Your continued messages really mean so much to me. It's crazy to see the Reddit community come together to help someone they don't even know. I'm trying to get help now. I'm planning on seeking professional help in the near future, as well as continue talking to my friend. Thank you all so much. I'm in serious debt because of a drug addiction I used to have, of which my family didn't know I had. I'm almost 2 years clean now, but I can hardly pay any bills I have, and I'm afraid to ask any family member for money because I know I can't pay them back in the near future. Edit. Thanks for all the kind words guys and gals. Sadly, here in the Netherlands, declaring bankruptcy isn't as easy. You have to have certain points going for and against you to actually declare it, as far as I know. As for the people talking about sending something to help, please, if you want to help, send it to some sort of charity that helps addicted to get and stay clean. Because for me, even though I have it rough, the people still fighting this have it 10x rougher. This won't ruin me, because I've already went no contact with my mom, but it still hurts, and is a big secret I've not told anyone. When I was a kid, I had asthma pretty bad. So, I'd be up all night, coughing constantly. My mom and I lived with her parents. We shared a room, so I slept in her bed often. When I was a toddler, mom would come home from work and lay down for bed, but I'd keep her awake with my coughing. Sometimes at night I'd be coughing, and she would hug me, so tight that I couldn't breathe. It would really distress me that I couldn't breathe, but I knew mom loved me so much, and I didn't want to tell her she was literally squeezing me to death, because I was afraid of hurting her feelings. So I'd just tell her that I loved her so much, and she would cry pretty hard after that. Took me years, after having my own kid and treating him gently, to figure out that it's actually pretty difficult to squeeze a kid so hard that they couldn't breathe. Mom is bipolar and has had other incidents of hurting people and abandoning those in her care that need medication and can't take care of themselves. So, I finally put it together and figured out mom would be so agitated with my asthma that she would try to stop me from coughing by squeezing me almost to death. And then she would cry out of guilt when I told her I loved her. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.